Most people think a promotion makes you richer. But in many cases, it quietly makes you poorer. Not immediately. Not obviously. But over time, in ways you don't notice until it's too late. Think about the most ambitious person you know at work. The one who said yes to everything. Every project. Every late night. Every promotion that came their way. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. They climbed. They now have the title. They have the salary that sounds impressive when it comes up in conversation. On paper, they won. Now ask yourself something most people avoid asking. Do they actually seem happy? Not performative happy. Not grateful for the opportunity, happy. Actually happy. Because there is a version of that person who gets home at 8:30 p.m. Eats quickly, sometimes standing in the kitchen. Checks email one more time before bed. And lies awake doing quiet math about whether this life is worth what it costs. The promotion came. The raise came. The title came. And somewhere in between all of that arriving, something else quietly left. This video is about what that something is. And why the people who say no to certain promotions often end up in a stronger financial position 5 years later. Let's start with the number everyone focuses on. The raise. You go from $80,000 to $105,000. That is a $25,000 increase. It feels significant. It feels like progress. But here is what actually happens to that $25,000. First, taxes take their share. Depending on where you live, that $25,000 often becomes something closer to $16,000 to $19,000 in take-home income. You never even see the rest. Then something even more subtle happens. Lifestyle inflation. You do not consciously decide to spend more. It just happens. Slightly better housing. More convenience. Eating out more often. Small upgrades that quietly become your new normal. Most people spend around 50 to 70% of every additional dollar they earn. So now your $17,000 becomes maybe $6,000 to $9,000. And we have not even counted the real costs yet. Promotions do not just increase your salary. They increase the cost of maintaining your life. More commuting or travel. More meals outside. More convenience spending. More stress, which often leads to higher health costs over time. And most importantly, more hours. A lot more hours. In many cases, moving into management adds 5 to 10 extra hours per week. Sometimes more. 40 hours becomes 45. Sometimes 50. Now take a step back and ask a simple question. How much are you actually earning per hour? Because this is where the illusion breaks. Let's compare two people. One earns $125,000 a year working 50 hours a week. The other earns $90,000 working 40 hours a week. On the surface, the first person looks far more successful. But when you calculate hourly income, the gap shrinks significantly. In many cases, it is much closer than people expect. The higher title did not create a dramatically better financial outcome. It just required more time to sustain it. And here is the part nobody talks about. Those extra hours are often unpaid. Once you move into salaried roles, overtime is no longer compensated. You are not paid more for those extra hours. You are simply expected to give them. Now let's look at what those extra 10 to 15 hours per week could actually become. Not something unrealistic. Not a startup. Something simple. Freelancing. Consulting. A small side income stream. Even $1,000 per month consistently invested can change your financial future. Over 15 to 20 years, that can grow into hundreds of thousands of dollars. Possibly more, depending on returns. That is the opportunity cost of your promotion. Not just the time you give up, but what that time could have become. There is a concept called the Peter Principle. People are promoted based on how well they perform in their current role, not how well they will perform in the next one. Which means something predictable happens. You are great at your job, so you get promoted. But the new role requires completely different skills, so your performance drops. And eventually, you reach a level where you are no longer truly effective. But you stay there, because you are not bad enough to be fired, just not strong enough to move further. You end up stuck, not at your highest potential, but at your highest level of tolerated inefficiency. As your income increases, your life quietly adjusts to match it. Bigger expenses, longer commitments, less flexibility. Your salary stops being a benefit and becomes a requirement. You cannot easily step back. You cannot easily say no, because too much of your life depends on staying exactly where you are. This is what people call golden handcuffs. Not what you love, what you cannot afford to leave. Now imagine two people starting in the same role. One accepts every promotion. The other declines at the right moment. 5 years later, their lives look very different. The first has a higher title, but less time, more stress, and a financial structure that depends heavily on maintaining that income. The second has more control, more flexibility, steady investments, and often, additional income streams. On paper, the first person looks more successful. In reality, the second person is often building stronger long-term financial security. They just cannot display it in a job title. There is a concept in economics called tournament theory. Your workplace functions like a competition. Promotions act as incentives that push everyone to work harder. But only a small percentage actually move up. The rest still increase their output without proportional rewards. And even those who do move up often give more than they realize. The system benefits from your ambition, whether you win or not. The first time you say no to a promotion, it feels wrong. It feels like you are falling behind. Like you are making a mistake that you will regret later. Other people will question your decision, maybe even quietly judge it. And for a while, you will question yourself too, because you are going against what everyone else is doing. For a while, it feels uncomfortable. But then something changes. The time you protected starts turning into something real. Not immediately, but gradually. Your savings grow. Your investments become consistent. Your stress decreases in ways that are hard to measure but easy to feel. You start thinking more clearly, making decisions with less pressure. You start building things outside of your job. Skills, income streams, options. And slowly, your dependence on that job decreases. That is when the shift happens. You stop needing the system. And when you no longer need it, you start seeing it differently. Most people define success as moving up. Higher title, higher salary, more recognition. But there is a more useful definition. Control. Control over your time. Control over your income. Control over your decisions. The ability to choose how you spend your day. The ability to walk away from something that no longer serves you. The people who say no to the wrong promotions are not less ambitious. They are more selective. They think longer term. They care less about how things look, and more about how things actually work. They are not optimizing for status. They are optimizing for freedom. So the next time a promotion is offered, do not just ask what you gain. Ask what it costs. Time, energy, flexibility, opportunity. Ask what you are giving up in exchange for what you are receiving. Because the real trade is not job versus job. It is control versus dependence. It is flexibility versus obligation. And sometimes, the smartest financial decision you can make is not the one that increases your income the fastest. It is the one that protects your ability to choose. And sometimes, that means not moving up. It means staying in control. If this changed how you think about promotions, then you are starting to see the system differently. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. You start questioning decisions that once felt obvious. You start noticing trade-offs that were previously invisible. Let me know in the comments. Would you say no to a promotion if the math did not make sense? And if you want more breakdowns like this, where we look at money and career decisions through logic instead of emotion, make sure to subscribe.